Moving on now, and during discussions with Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev in Beijing, Chinese President Xi Jinping remarked that tariffs have damaged the multilateral trading system. He highlighted that trade wars and tariffs disrupt the legitimate rights of all nations, weaken the multilateral framework and affect the global economic order, according to China's state news agency Xinhua. Meanwhile, the White House reported progress in trade talks between the United States and China despite ongoing tensions over tariffs and retaliatory measures. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that the discussions are moving forward positively. She stated, "We're doing very well in respect to a potential trade deal with China." She highlighted that US President Donald Trump and his administration are actively working to set the stage for an agreement. While both nations have imposed retaliatory measures, Leavitt expressed optimism that the situation is evolving in a constructive direction with hopes for a successful deal. The progress came as both sides continue to negotiate terms that could ease economic tensions between the two global powers. Let's hear what Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, has said.
I asked the president about this before coming out here, and he wanted me to share with all of you that we're doing very well in respect to a potential trade deal with China. As I mentioned, there have now been 18 proposals in more than 100 countries around the world who are wanting to make a deal with the United States of America, and the president and the administration are setting the stage for a deal with China. So we feel everyone involved wants to see a trade deal happen, and the ball is moving.
Moving on now, and the International Monetary Fund has sharply downgraded its global growth forecast for 2025 to 2.8%, citing these impacts from President Trump's tariffs. The IMF warned that rising trade tensions and escalating tariffs have significantly slowed economic growth, particularly in the US, which saw its forecast cut by nearly 1%. As trade uncertainty continues, global financial stability risks have increased, with the IMF warning of potential market upheaval. In related news, the Trump administration announced a ban on synthetic food dyes by 2026, aiming to phase out the 8 currently approved artificial dyes, citing health concerns. Meanwhile, the IMF has also revised down its growth forecast for the Eurozone in 2025 to 0.8% as trade disruptions and inflationary pressures weigh on the economy. The IMF's chief economist stressed that the global economy is facing significant challenges in the wake of recent policy shifts. Here is what the IMF chief economist Pierre Olivier has said.
So for the US, we're seeing a pretty significant increase in inflation under the reference forecast. We're seeing headline inflation going to 3%. It was actually 3% last year. We're expecting 3% this year. So in a sense, the disinflation stopped. Before that, we're expecting the inflation will be back at central bank targets, so on 2% for this year. Both of them. I mean, the tariffs are certainly weighing down, but the uncertainty about what trade policy might be in the future, whether in a month, in a week, in 6 months, is also weighing down very heavily. If you're a multinational right now, where to source your product from, where to expand in terms of your markets, you're pausing everything. You're not doing any of these things. So this is actually weighing down. And so bringing back stability, clarity, predictability to the trading system is a first order.
Moving on now, Russian President Vladimir Putin has met with Oman's Sultan Haytham bin Tariq in Moscow to discuss the ongoing Iran nuclear talks. The Kremlin confirmed that the conversation focused on Oman's role as a mediator in these high-stakes discussions. Russia has expressed support for the surprise talks between Washington and Tehran aimed at addressing Iran's nuclear program. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stated that Russia is ready to contribute fully to ensuring the success of these negotiations. This comes after US President Donald Trump urged Iran to begin negotiations to limit its nuclear weapons development program after he pulled out of the landmark US-Iran nuclear deal during his first term. Here is what the Russian president has had to say.
Министерство иностранных дел, информация проходила наверняка. Мы планируем провести в этом году саммит между Россией и арабскими странами. Многие наши друзья в арабском мире эту идею поддерживают. Если, Ваше Величество, вы найдете время, мы были бы рады вас видеть тоже на этом саммите Лиги арабских государств и России. Продовольственные товары. И, конечно, очень рассчитываем на то, что в области энергетики у нас могут быть сделаны дополнительные шаги. Наши компании проявляют большой интерес к развитию отношений.
That is all that we have time for, but we will continue to bring you more of the latest breaking news from across the world.